Welcome back, everyone, to this next episode of Blackbird. Tonight, I have with me Shawn Adkins, who is the co-creator and facilitator of the Dayton Street Ministries. Thank you so much for being here today, Shawn.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Just to kind of start off, can you give us a little bit of a background as far as kind of what brought you into Dayton Street Ministries, how you came up with that concept?
A friend of mine, Nate Johnstone, he and I were serving ministry together in downtown Dayton at the Biltmore Towers. It's an elderly community. And I was leading worship, and he was one of the associate pastors, kind of like pastoral interns. And we used to have a little service, and then we would have a meal with them and feed them and stuff. And we were sitting around after we had ate with just he and I were chatting. And over the weeks we had, there had been a few weeks we had talked about how, what we used to do when we were younger and stuff like that, or just, go and how we liked to just walk around the city just to see stuff. And I just said, hey man, I think it'd be cool if we went out on the streets and just started handing out Bibles or tracts or something like that. And he said, yeah, man, we could do something like that. He's like, we could do. And I can't remember all the things he threw up, but he's like, yeah, we can just go and see if we can talk to people, maybe share the word with them or something. I said, cool, yeah. So we showed, like the next week, I think we talked about some more and got some supplies. We got like the daily breads, the daily devotionals that you can get. They're month by month, but like you can order just generic 90-day those. And we also got a case of Gospels of John, which are just, the Gospel of John, just individual of those. And we just... one Monday night, because that was the only night that worked for both of us that we were free, which is why we do it on Monday nights now, because we just stuck that way. We just loaded up backpacks with like 2 cases of soda. We had like Mountain Dew and Pepsi and a bunch of cookies and Easter candy. And we just started walking around downtown Dayton. It was brought under the Shelter Church umbrella. So now it is a ministry of Shelter Church. That is why I have a budget that falls underneath the church, so that when people donate, because they were getting donations, but everyone just kind of had to, when they did donate, it was all, it's not an actual 501c3, you can't record it, you can't write it off or anything. So now when people want to donate, I just say, make the church out the shelter, put the notation Dayton Street Ministry, it goes in our budget, and I can use that for, the food, if I need to buy something that we don't have donated, also upkeep on stuff like the insulated bags we use, when those wear out, get new ones, just stuff like that.
As far as like your process and this journey that developing Dayton Street Ministries has been, can you tell me about a time where you faced discouragement or doubt in what you were doing and how you overcame that?
I don't think I ever, personally, I never was discouraged or felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I mean, there's times I'll come out and I've not seen literally anybody on the spots that we go to, which is great to me. I'm like, cool. Yeah. They're not on the streets right now, so they're somewhere safe, hopefully. And I tell people all the time, like, hey man, if I see you next week, I'll be back, but I hope I don't see you. Yeah. Like, what? No, really, I don't want to see you out here every week, but you're here, so I'm going to keep taking care of you. But yeah, most of the discouragement is normally just when I let my life outside of church interfere with my spiritual life, and I'm not saying I have 2 different lives, because I'm the same person regardless. But when, I might have had something going on all weekend, and then I get into work on Monday, and then it's just been like a really crappy day at work because of a job that we're on or something that you just have those days, and it's those days when I'm just like, I just want to get this night over with, so I can go home, take a shower, go to bed, whatever. And that's when that amazing thing comes and just is like, wham. And I'm like, okay, I know. Just don't let life, because that happens to all of us, but just don't let it interfere with when you just have to, at times I can't get in that spiritual mindset. Is when God makes me get into it,
Well, what are some practical ways people can get involved? That would either be helpful, either donations or man hours, things like that. What would be of service to you?
I'm sure I'm not as organized as a lot of the other places you've worked with, because this is just me and some friends, basically, is what it is. But, we have a Facebook page, Dayton Street Ministry, on Facebook. And that's kind of where I tell what we're going to do. And if there's something like Christmas Eve falls on a Monday this year. So I go out Christmas Eve every year anyways.
Yeah.
By myself, or if people want to come along, that's fine. I normally have right around Thanksgiving, I start collecting winter donations because I make care packages together for that. So that might be something. But again, I've seen it. I only say this because I've seen it happen where if I ask for a specific item or number of items, there's a reason why I ask for those because, people, well, I thought they might use this. Well, I kind of don't need that because I have 50 of those already.
Yeah.
So when I ask for specific items, it's because it's not that I'm not thinking, because I know what a lot of people need out there. It's like I have a large closet full of stuff that I have not even touched yet. At one time, I still had like 50 sets of hats and gloves down there.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know about that. I know I'm not going to need a whole lot of hats and gloves or scarves this year.
And I guess the last thing I would have that I would ask you is if somebody out there, a viewer who's watching, has an idea that they mean something to them or a cause that they want to support, but they're not quite sure how to start or they're not sure if their idea is good, do you have any advice for them on how to kind of get things going? Or
I just did it, I mean, if you
just do it.
Well, Nike wasn't wrong because no, I mean, if you're unsure about it, figure out why you're unsure about it. I wasn't unsure about this because it was like I said, and this being a religious ministry is totally different than another one. Like if someone who's not a religious person or a spiritual person or whatever wants to do something practical, that's fine. But I knew that this was why God wanted me to start. I mean, it's hard to explain to someone who's not a Christian or not a religious person. But when you just know you have to do it, you just do it. But we've run into a lot, like I said, we ran into some problems that we kind of had to work with on the way. It would have been nice to maybe know how we were going to act. What I'm saying is make sure, and if you're going to do anything like what I do, where I would say always have an accountability person with you, whatever you're doing. If you're working with anybody that's not in your circle, anyone outside of your circle, whatever your circle might be, family, friends, a community you're already invested in, have accountability, because there can be some blowback. If someone doesn't like what you did, they might say, well, he did this, or she did this, and if you have accountability there, just kind of, cover yourself on different aspects of that.
So thank you very much for joining us. And again, to find out more information, you can look Shawn up on Facebook at Dayton Street Ministry. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks.